Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, and let's see what the market looks like a day before the rate cuts are coming. Here we go. Let's see. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? And that's what our heat map looks like. Not too bad. Mostly green, I must say. Going into rate cut season right here Wednesday, and SPY's up a little bit, getting into the top right there. So there you go with that one. FGI, boom, there you go. That one was popping up this morning. Did see that one, and it's still running up. So there you are with that. And TSM keeps hitting them all-time highs and jumping up. So there you are with that one. So beautiful, guys. And let's see what else is going on here. We'll go through our Joe Leach jumpers, see what's happening this morning. We'll roll through our SPY Mag 7 big cap, see what you guys want to look at. The video seems to be the one that's down a little bit, but getting set up right there, so not too bad. And ADAP right here is up this morning, running up. And I put this on the night note for you guys. So there you go at ADAP. And that was running up there. And ATCH had been running up yesterday, pulling back a little bit this morning. I did see that one. So let's take a look. Let me get right there. ATCH. Here we are. And that did run up yesterday. A little bit of pullback there. And BGI right there was running up some this morning. And that had run up yesterday, pulling back at the moment. And how about our Bit Farms right here? And that is pulling back. I think we will see a little bit of pullback at the moment. And our Bolt project. So, Doge Mama 9, it could be pulling back a hair on you, and you might be able to sell the top and then catch another opportunity if you like it like that. And Bolt projects right here trying to curl up. That had recently run pretty big, I remember, not long ago. And it's setting back up right there for good old Bolt projects. Let me see. BSLK right here. Good old Bolt projects. And yeah, that's not bad. Like I said, I remember it ran up pretty big right there and then curling back up. So trying to set up, we'll keep an eye on that one. Check right here was running yesterday. We do know that one. And it was kind of bouncing around this morning, still in the top. But yesterday's big run up Conifer CNFR right here was running up this morning. Did see this one popping up as well, Conifer Holdings. So a few of them bumping up. HCTI, we were looking at Healthcare Triangle, saying it looked good. And there you go with this one. Somebody was asking about it. It was running up a little bit this morning. And that is your HCTI right there. So that appears to be getting set up. And LVRO, there you go with that. Ran up yesterday, and it just had some pullback today. Nothing too crazy. MTVA is Metavia, and this was running yesterday. We looked at it, and a little run up today. Not as high as yesterday, but just bouncing around right there. 128 to 137. It's at 134. And Knock right here, I said this one was going to get moving, and it is moving 629 to 709. So there you go in the 680s, and that's a nuclear one. NOTLK Outlook right here. I think this is a nuclear one as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. Haven't seen it in a while. I think since the nuclear ones went nuclear last, and here we are. And let's see, that's curling up real nice. So that has a good outlook. And that is OTLK and WBTN right here. If I type it in, I'll just go like this. Boom. And there we go with Webtoon Entertainment, Internet Content right here. Not sure what company that is, but it did pop up, I must say. And I would assume it's going to run up a little more in that top in that top area. Let's see. It ran up pretty well yesterday. It still looks like it could. I'll have to see what that does today. It bounced up pretty good. And yesterday right there, and it's kind of holding it could stay there, but that is your Webtoon WBTN, and I'll take a look at it. You can see it's still in the top right there. So it could bounce up a little bit more, but here we go. And let's take a look at our SPY Mag 7 and everything else and see what you guys want to look at. And let's see what else is going on. That core weave and UNH right there march on, and the SPY is cruising along. That's for sure. 662. It's pretty wild. Just keeps going up. with no problem at 661.94. But right there, ASML, we did look at that last night. It was jumping up, and we thought so. Webtoon got an investment from Disney, who bought 5% of the company. So there you go. And that's what happened with Webtoon. What was it? I forget what it was. WBTN right there. So there you go, right there. Disney to invest in Webtoon Entertainment with a plan for new comics platform. So interesting right there. And that's why it's bouncing up, obviously, because Disney's getting involved. And here we go. That's what our SPY or our S&P, our heat map looks like right there. And let's go through our SPY Mag 7 and everybody else real quick and see what's going on this morning. As we get ready to get the rate cut tomorrow, our SPY is cruising up there, not looking bad, I must say. And let's see what our Mag 7's doing. Apple, little healthy pullback, nothing crazy right there. Amazon looking pretty good, and that is getting set up. And I mean, according to right here, it looks like it's ready to get popping. That's why it's going to be interesting to see if there's a sell the news event tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting one. And Google's been running up a little more. We did like that. Meta, of course, is running up. That looks pretty good as well right there. And Microsoft was looking good and still moving up right now. So the only one down is NVIDIA right there. And Tesla's been cruising along. And that's at the top, but it still looks pretty good right there. And how about AMC? We do like that one. That is definitely getting set up right there. GameStop is running up. It's in that channel and looking pretty good. It's trying to get into the top so it can pop up a little bit more. And how about your Chewy right here? That thing is trying to curl back up. We'll see if it really wants to get through. It could have a little bit of setup time right there as it's curling up, but on the curl ups, it'll definitely be running up. And Unity's running up into the top again and cruising along. What about our Netflix? It's up 42 cents. It does look like it's trying to bottom out, but it also looks like it could pull back a little bit more. So I would keep an eye on Netflix now. Obviously, all kinds of disruptions in the entertainment company with Warner Brothers and all them buying each other and doing some crazy stuff. So them prices have all jumped around. AVGO right here is back up. It's still in the top right there. I'd assume MU is running up some more too this morning, and it certainly is right there. And that TSM is up some more and keeps running all-time highs right now. SMCI looking pretty good in that channel right there. We'll look at Dell real quick. That's setting up too. That Dell is looking pretty good. SMCI not looking bad. Dell's looking pretty good too. They both look pretty good, I must say. And AMD looks really good right there. So you might want to keep keeping an eye on AMD. That is definitely getting set up at the moment. And how about our QCOM right here? And that one is just staying in that channel, guys. That's a real tight squeeze of a channel right there, you can see. And it's staying there. It'll jump up there next and get popping. So it just has a little bit of setup period for QCOM. And Snow was trying to go back up yesterday. It's pulling back a little bit today. And that's an interesting look. You could have some more pullback, or it looked like it wanted to roll off the MACD yesterday, and now it's coming down on it and trying to cross over. We'll see. It has to pull itself up, and then it'll definitely roll off. Just has a weird look as it's going into it, but it could definitely pull up and get cruising there. And PayPal right here is up a little. So there you go. PYPL at the moment up a hair, and Intel that was cruising back up yesterday. It's hitting that resistance. I don't know if it's going to get through there. I wouldn't trust it right now. And Dell we looked at looking pretty good. And IBM had been running up a little healthy pullback, like I said, hitting that 50 and getting set back up. So that's a normal one that we knew about. Palantir right here still pulling back, and I'm surprised it didn't continue to run up the other day, yesterday. As a matter of fact, Sophie is looking pretty good, hitting resistance. So, and it could pull back off of that, but it was running up there. And Mara and Riot, they are just kind of hanging out right now. Riot's up a little more, but that's getting into the top. You could have a little bit of healthy pullback on it. Mara getting set up. Clean Spark right here is getting set up as well, but they're not exactly ready as crypto's just getting set up. And obviously tomorrow is our rate cut, so we'll see how everything wants to react. It's going to be a interesting day for sure. Robinhood right here pulling back. It's up a little bit, but it is pulling back some to roll off that MACD. And Coinbase is up a hair, and that's getting set up in that channel right there. And Bull has just been kind of hanging out. Like I said, watch for any dips on Webull right there. SPCE is just getting set up as well. It's just flat this morning. And Boeing had been pulling back. Now it looked like it bottomed out there. So we'll see as it curls up. You'll get a little run up, but we'll see if it really wants to get cruising. And that's Boeing. And DJT right here is dipping down. It was up yesterday. A little healthy pullback. Fun is just kind of hanging out there. McDonald's had been pulling back. Now it's trying to bottom out there. So keep an eye on that. As it curls up, you'll get a little run up, and we'll see if it wants to go through. And Disney is down a hair. And again, that whole entertainment business industry is all crazy. Oxy right here getting set back up, it appears to be. And ExxonMobil is trying to hold itself up right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. DXYZ right here. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good opportunity. And Nike right now is trying to base out right now and curl up. Obviously, you'll get a little bit of run up on that curl up. We'll have to see if it can get through the MACD as well. And Symbotic had been looking good. That's jumped up a little bit. Rivian right here, let's take a look at it. And that's trying to bottom out. It does look like it wants to roll off that MACD right there. So we'll be watching for that. Sterling right here is cruising up a little bit more, and we thought it might cruise up a little bit more. And how about Sezzle getting set up? So just let it get set up. Watch for any dips right there. And Rhythm used to be Agrify, and it's just hanging out right there. So there you go. With them bad boys, that's your Spy Mag 7 big caps and your Joe Lee's jams right there. So how about that? And let's see Carvana right here. That is up, and Carvana's looking pretty good to get set up at the moment. And Oracle, and that one is jumping back up right there. I did think it could dip down a little bit more, but yesterday it looked like it stabled itself out, and boom, just rolled right back up like it was no big deal. So there you go with ORCL Oracle. And Larry Ellison wants to be the richest man in the world again because it was fun. I don't know if it dipped down enough to get him out of first place because he had beaten Elon the other day, but it did pull back, and now it's running back up for him. And SLNH right here is what's that going on? That's a data center, secures $100 million investment running up in the top right now. So there you are with your SLNH. And we talked about Webtoon and ASML, that one we saw last night, and it was cruising along, and it's continuing the cruise right there. CoreWeave, let's see, that one looks pretty good. Like I said, remember we were talking about it getting into a bullish channel. Now you can see it getting into a bullish channel right there. So it went from a bearish channel to a bullish channel right there, and UNH is trying to bump back up as well, staying the top at the moment. So there you go with that one. And let's see what else is going on here this morning. I think I got all of them. And yes, we did. Let's see what crypto's up to. BBAI, is that what that says? The big bear there. Let's see what he's up to, our big bear friend. And he's definitely getting set up a little bit there today. You're going to see it try to run up to here and then get set back up. So it won't get right through. It doesn't look like, but you're going to get that set up right there. So that is BBAI. You can play the little pop-ups, and then you can see in this channel that's where it's going to get. And then we'll reevaluate that tonight and tomorrow going into our Fed meeting. But it doesn't look bad right there for the big bear. And QuantumScape right here is just hanging out. Could have a little bit of pullback at the moment, but that's getting set up as well. So that had recently run up and is still running up right there. But like I said, just a little healthy pullback. And you can see it's down like 3 cents. And then that one's going to get set up right here. Here's our poly market, and it does look like that 0.25 is going to hold right there. We'll see tomorrow morning if this thing gets all the way up here and starts rocking like this, guys, and starts making that curl. It'll jump off a cliff. And so now I'm really interested because it's making its way to that 100% up there, and we'll see what's happening. the popular vote was 75-25 when I picked it out, and it was Harris and Trump, obviously, and it was 75 Harris, 25 Trump, and I said, that thing's jumping off a cliff, and it certainly did exactly that morning. So we're watching it closely. This thing just keeps on cruising back up to 100, but I'll see if it gets that round out curl, and we'll see if it wants to and that'll be one hell of a jump because it's all the way up there now. You're talking 92%, and your 0.50 is like a 6% chance right there. So interesting if it does really start to curl. I'm not sure it will, but it's fun to watch and see what it wants to do there. And DUOL, that Duolingo, whatever, that's what it's called. Duolingo, it's called. And DUOL right here. And I remember it was running up the other day, and it looks like it is getting set back up right there, Luis Rodriguez. So they're unveiling major products today at Duocon 2025. So watch for positive news catalysts right there. So they are having Duocon, I guess. That's interesting. That's pretty funny. And so Duolingo right there. They have a whole big thing going on. And I didn't even know that company was that big, but I guess they are a software application, and I guess they do languages, I would imagine. So there you go with them bad boys. Let me see what else is going on over here if we're missing anything. And I think we got everything. Let's take a look and see what our crypto's doing this morning as we get ready for a Fed cut tomorrow, and crypto is stabled out again. It's Bitcoin's at 115. You just had that little healthy pullback, making that last room on the chart right there. You can see it, and it looks pretty good. Ethereum right here pulling back real healthy, and we'll see if it stays up there and gets rolling off that MACD. It's not looking too bad. To try to obviously ran up, have some healthy pullback going into our rate cut, and Solana had been ripping up there, and it looks like it tried to bottom out there and wants to get rolling back up. So it does look like crypto wants to continue to move itself back up, and Ripple looks like it's ready to get ripping again. So just keep an eye on that. And here is your Doge right here, and it's just a little healthy pullback, but it's following that same pattern where it does want to roll back off and go up. And Cardano as well, ADA right here, it's sitting on the 20. The MACD could easily bounce up. Stellar, same situation right there on the 20. And Link right here had been pulling back, and that's just rebounding, and looks like that one looks like it could pull back a little bit more. I'd have to look at it. The only one that really looks a little bit different there is Chainlink, and Optimism right here, not looking bad to try to bounce back up. So there you go with your crypto. And let me see where ETF is at this morning. I did look at it already. I just forget what the number was. Where is it? Right here. Here it is. Let me take a look. It's a 553 market cap right there. So it's kind of stabled out after it had bumped up all weekend and then had a little healthy pullback, but now it looks like it wants to try to make its way back up. So that's perfect timing with the crypto and your rate cuts going on tomorrow. So that's perfect right there. Looking good for that. And let's see what else is going on. It's a little bit of a slow day, even though it's pretty green in the market. Not a whole lot happening. There was a few things popping that we talked about, but not a whole lot. And jobless expansion fuels bull case as Fed rate cut looms, and the hurdles are low for another 10% gain for the S&P 500, says this Wall Street veteran. And morning bud, dollar takes Fed heat, and S&P 500 futures tick higher after benchmark closed above 6,600, and Fed meeting to begin. Is that start today and then they give the thing tomorrow? It's very possible. It's a 2-day, or they usually do. And anyway, the S&P 500 futures rise, and the dollar weakens, and gold just keeps on going up, guys. So it's Nug and J Nug right here. They just keep on cruising up there, and I don't think they're stopping. So there you go. They're just running in the top at the moment. And even silver is looking pretty good as well. And there you go with your silver, has been running up as well right there. Tesla US evaluating over 174,000 Tesla Model Y cars over door handle failure reports right there. So Door handle failure is not too bad, but Tesla not looking big. Like I said, it's in the top right there. We'll see how it curls back down. Obviously, everything's waiting for the Fed tomorrow, and let's just see if there's anything trending over here that we're missing this morning that grabs our attention, and we'll go through the market real quick. TTD is down, and UKK is up. We would mention that one. And let's look at that JMIA Jumia Technologies or something that's ripping up there. Keep an eye on that today. That looks like it might want to get moving. And let's see what else is going on with BE. Bloom Energy was ripping up there as well. QURE. Hold on. Let's see what that is. That's a healthcare company right there. That's up a little. Well, it's trying to bounce back up. That might be a good one to keep an eye on. Dave and Buster's play, and that is dipping down big time. They had earnings today, and it looks like they didn't do so well. So there you go with Dave and Buster's. And Glue, that was popping up pretty big, and it looks like it might be pulling back at the moment. GLUE, and it is pulling back. So there you go. And that is what's trending over there. Let's just see what's going on in the markets over here and run through real quick. Oh, let me see real quick right there. ADAP, I had mentioned this last night. It's running up. That Conifer Holdings had run up big this morning. I was watching it. And so did FGI right there. Laptop Travel had mentioned this one. AIHS right there. Not looking too bad this morning and running up. Could keep some momentum. BGI, we had looked at that last night. It was running up last night. Had a little run up this morning. And there's that Wheeler right there, not looking bad to get set up. Might want to keep an eye on Wheeler right here as it's cruising up into that channel. So WHLR, that looks pretty good right there. And as stakeholder right there, let's look at that one and see what the good old stakeholder's doing. I remember this one a few times. It recently split. It'll get to be in a good spot real soon. So we'll have to keep an eye on our stakeholder. Wolf right there running up some more. We did like that. There's our Bolt project. And let's see, that AIIO is kind of cruising around. CJET getting set up right here, guys. Keep an eye on CJET. And let's see, that Mullen is a disgrace. ATCH was running up. And let me see what else is going on. There's only one other page, so we might as well look at it. NFE right there, oil and gas getting set up. I was going to say this one's getting set up. Oil and gas right there, New Forbes Energy. Keep an eye on it. NACA, NAKA, is Kinley MD. I didn't realize that. Did they change their stock ticker? I'm not sure. But anyway, that looks like it's going to get set up off the bottom there. GPUS is an aerospace and defense that had been running up for us. And let's see, the Big Bear Open Door right there is just kind of hanging out. Your BITF, again, is in the top. Just because maybe it's going to try to run up in the top some more. I'd be careful up there, though. It has run up quite a bit right there. And it has that look. Maybe it's going to stable and run. I don't know. If it starts curling down, you might want to lock in some profits up there for BITF. And that's what they look like at the moment. Let's see what this side is. And that FGI and Conifer BGI right there. There's your stakeholder. And TON right here is trying to curl up at the moment and going up. And let's see what else is happening here. AIHS, and that is a retail and licensing one. That one's popping up this morning. MDIA had a crazy run around. Look at that thing. And there's your Wheeler getting set up at the moment. And CJET and NUC right there. So, and SNTG is trying to run back up. So you can keep an eye on Centage Holdings. It's a credit service in China right there. And that is what we're looking at this morning right now. And let's see what's running right now. Laptop Travel said, what is it? NTG is cruising along at the moment. So, hold on. Let me see what it even is. What is it? Oh, SNTG. Yeah, that is cruising along. We just saw that. And that certainly is running. So keep your eyes on that one right there. And that does look pretty good to try to continue its way up. You can see it right here. And it looks like it's going to be one of them ones that gets kind of pumped up today. So I would be watching for that one as well. And let's see, is there anything else? Defend probably isn't doing anything. It is getting set up right there at the moment. UCAR right here is not doing anything either. And Boyle won't be doing. Oh, Boyle is up a little bit. I didn't think that would be even doing anything. Here's your Raya right here. Just a little bit of pullback, and this thing's getting ready, guys. So Get ready for some Raya action right there. It's trying to get out of that basement. And ORIS right here, a little bit of healthy pullback. It's kind of flat. It kind of looks like it wants to leg itself up almost. So that'll be an interesting one for ORIS. See if that can get cruising. How about our Uber is running up a little bit more right there. And our Wolf was running up a little bit more as well. And Rich Tech Robotics up a little more. So there you go with them guys. And then there you go. OCGN looking pretty good as well this morning, running up into the top. So I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review as we get ready for the Fed cut tomorrow. And that is what we're looking at in the market. It's mostly green, but not really getting crazy. So it's holding itself up there, and we'll see what's going to happen. Again, could be a sell off the news kind of event. I'll be watching it today to see what we're getting into. That SPY just barely got into the top. We'll see how it reacts up there. I'll keep my eye and see. It does look like a 0.25 at the moment. We'll see if it wants to set up. It'll probably be tomorrow morning, more or less, if we're going to know if it's jumping off a cliff that morning. And the Fed meeting is at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So that's when we do find out all the goodness of all the good stuff. Whoop, not there about the rates and everything. And here you go. And so here we are. That's Wednesday, and then down there is our Fed press conference, and that is when we find out. And the next day is initial jobless claims, so that'll be Thursday, and all that good stuff, and the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing and all that. And then on Friday is just Baker Hughes total rings count, not court, and something like that. Don't even know what that is. But anyway, today is export prices and retail sales and import prices. So, and manufacturing production and good stuff like that. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's what we're looking at today, going into rate cuts tomorrow. And some are pricing these cuts before the end of the year. So yeah, I would say a lot of these things have already started to price in the 0.25 rate cut already. The market looks like it's trying to absorb it a little bit, and we're going to see some more rate cuts coming. I think that's more important. I think Laptop Travel did hit it on the head yesterday on a small cap show. He said we already know what we're getting right now. We all knew. I told you guys 2 months ago that we were getting a 0.25 rate cut this month, and right now we all knew it. It's a matter of what Powell says going forward. How many more rate cuts? How aggressive are they going to be? Are you going to see one for the next 3 months? Are you going to see one every other month? I'm not sure, but that's what we're all going to be looking for, and that's what the news is going to be reacting off of, I believe. So we'll see what goes on tomorrow. Obviously, it's rate day. It'll be a fun one in the market, and everybody will be all eyes on the Fed. So I think that's what it will be coming down to. And I think that we already have a priced in 0.25 in the market right now. It was getting priced in over the last week or so, as you could see things running up. And if he happens to pull out that 0.50, it might make things real crazy. I'm not going to lie. Crypto would probably go insane. And but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see it. We'll look at the poly market tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on it today, see what's going on with it. It is curling up there for that 100% 0.25. And yeah, that's what it looks like at the moment. So if we get 3 cuts, the markets are going higher. That's how I look at it. That's why I was just saying that. Luis Rodriguez, if he's going to cut it the next 3 months, it's exactly why I was saying it. Because the markets will be ripping, guys, and he may very well have to do it. So you might hear a rate cut tomorrow and then rate cut October, November, December. And oh my goodness, guys, it would get insane. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It'll be a fun day with the rates getting cut and everything else, with Powell speaking and the Fed and everything. We've been waiting for this for a while. And I know the administration's been waiting for this since day one, guys. The minute they walked in, they wanted the rates lower, and we've talked about it many, many times. So there you are, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for our pre-market show. It does not look bad this morning, and all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel and Doge Mom and 9. I saw you chiming in, and everybody else hanging out. Asian Joe Lee and the whole crew right there. Thank you very much. Be sure to follow along on X, YouTube, and Instagram, and like like the show on your way out. And there you go, everybody. So I'll keep you guys posted. Obviously, we'll be doing a show at 8 p.m. tonight and really covering what the Fed is looking at, and we'll see how the market runs today. It is a little bit quiet. Everything already basically popped up, and we have some great setups happening. So that is what we're looking at today. So not a whole lot happening, but we'll keep ourselves updated. And like I said, I just am more interested in what this Fed decision is going to be, 0.25, 0.50. So there you go. And hit that like button, folks. Help Dougie's video algo. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. It certainly does help the algorithm when everybody likes it. So, and reposts it. So thank you so much, everybody. Until tonight, I'll keep you guys posted in the market today. And you guys be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. And we're all excited about the Fed tomorrow. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And thank you again for tuning in. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.